we're here to talk about top 3 favorite fighting games to watch. And we got PunkDaGod in the building. What is good?
Excited for this one. How you doing, Kizzie?
I'm doing great, dude. You know, I really appreciate you acknowledging, like, yo, man, all these fighting games are looking the same right now. You know, I really appreciated that talk because it hit me so critical, bro. I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I've been talking about for the past 2 years.
I just feel like offense is just kind of just crazy in these games right now. And they're just like, forcing people to play that play style. And that's just not really naturally everyone's play style. Some people are just not good at forcing situations and they like to play a bit more defensive. But a lot of games now is just like you kind of got to start your offense first, or the other guy might just be the bully and you can't really afford to get bullied in these newer fighting games. So I feel like people or the games are just forcing people to play more offensively even if they don't want to, and I feel like that's just a little crazy. Yeah, like 'cause some people just likes to play different play styles, and that's what I feel like make fighting games really cool and fun to watch.
I look at like League of Legends, for example, and like most of the match, like the first 5 minutes of the match is people just walking, just beating up bots. And like, like the guys are like breaking it down and like talking about it and keeping the people interested. And by the way, it's like 500,000 people watching this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if people can watch that, I'm sure people can watch somebody throwing a fireball a couple times. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I look at it, right? With that being said, well, look, we're going to talk about the top 3 games that we enjoy to watch. I know when you like a game, you like, yo, I vibe with this game. And I know when you don't like a game, you be like, I don't like this game. And I think that we need somebody that is just straight up on point and honest of like your 3 games, favorite games to watch.
Number 1 would definitely be probably Under Night. The new Under Night game. I forget exactly what the name is.
Yeah, Celeste, bro.
Yeah. So that game I like to watch because I actually entered Evo Japan, so I've been watching quite a lot to try to learn how to play the game and learn combos and just learn a lot. I liked it. I used to like it a lot before in Eunice, the other version. So I played it quite a bit then, and I always just thought it was a very fun game. And they kind of stick to their roots, It's not like they're not really changing up the game at all. They just kind of add new characters, but they keep like the core of it the same. Is still pretty like hard, I would say, and it's very execution heavy still. So I think that is like a really cool thing for me with that game, is that it's like kind of like an older fighting game in that sense, where it's not really trying to cater towards a newer audience or anything. They just kind of found what their core audience like, and they just like, all right, we just want to stick to this and just add some new characters or mechanics every now and again. But the core of it is still going to be the same. So
one thing I gotta say about Under Night is that even in the newest game that came out, the combos that you learn literally when you first play it, like an older version, it still works in this game.
Yeah.
It may not be the best combo, but you can at least do the combo that you remember in the old games. Because sometimes when you play a brand new game or you play a brand new patch, that combo that you learned 2 patches ago, gone. Like, don't even barely even work, right?
I feel like it's just a lot of combo routes in general in that game that makes it very cool and unique. Like, a lot of people do a lot of different combos, even if they aren't optimal. I don't know. People just have stuff that they like to do in that game specifically. And I feel like that's a cool thing. Like, you can definitely tell from if you watch the game a lot and see different players, you could definitely tell a difference in who it is playing the character, I feel like.
Under Night is a great choice, man. Honestly, I wish it was a bit more hyped than what it was at launch, but I know launch had a really rough time. But I actually think that game is really fun to watch too, because there's so many cool characters that are just doing like their own like thing in the game.
Yeah, I like that too. Every character is very unique. Like, you can never like fight how to fight one character and just think you're going to know enough of matchup. Kind of like how a lot of games got similar characters like Ryu, Ken. You have like Kai, Soul, like all characters that's kind of similar. So if you learn how to fight one, you can apply the knowledge a bit to another. But in Under Night, there's no case of that. Like, you gotta learn each matchup and what each character do by yourself. Like, there's no helping you with another character. You're going to have to learn it from scratch, every single character.
Let's talk about The second game you have in mind that is not under him.
Yeah, second game I would say definitely Tekken. Tekken
Yeah.
8, Tekken 7, whatever. Like, I know a lot of Tekken players
Bro,
don't really like the game or whatever, but like as a spectator and a person who don't really know what's going on too much, like I play it a little bit, but I still don't know any frame data or any. I just press buttons and try to whiff punish sometimes. That's about all I do in Tekken. So for a spectator, I feel like it's very fun to watch. Like, I enjoy the heat system, won't lie. I think it's something new in Tekken. Like, in my opinion, Tekken's been like the same game for so long, right? Like, it doesn't change much. So them adding a new mechanic, even though it do promote offense, I feel like for Tekken, it's very fun to see as a spectator. I can't really say much about playing it competitively, but watching it is very fun. So I love to watch. I love watching some Tekken.
I love it when, like, you know, good high level players, you know, when they talk about something that they like, they were like, they always say something like, yeah, we don't know about the competitive side, but I can tell you, sitting with some popcorn, this game is gone. we gotta make sure, because we know pro players be watching. They be like, hey man, what do you know, right? And so like we gotta put ourselves on the audience side, like in the back seat. We enjoyed it, you know. I like the heat system too. You know, I think one of the things that I feel like is a little too overbearing, and probably the competitor players don't like, is the fact that there's so much chip damage. And I think that is the first time that, like, you know, you people get like you get refillable health in a Tekken game, if I'm not mistaken, outside of like Tekken Tag, and when you tag your teammate out, your other character out, they heal naturally. But this time, it's like the only way for you to build health back is for you to strike back.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense, honestly. I never really thought of that, but the chip damage is definitely pretty annoying when I'm playing Tekken. I won't lie, it's like, it's weird. Never been a game with chip damage, so just having normals chip you in a fighting game is like the weirdest thing ever. Like, you just something that's like unheard of, honestly, having normal just chip your health away.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't always a big fan of Mortal Kombat, because certain block streams would just checkmate you. You know what I mean?
So
like,
much. Yeah, MK is crazy with the chip on normals.
Yeah, bro, I feel like it does more than specials. But you know, I also love, like, one thing I like the Tekken 8, and like a lot of people probably get tired of it from an audience, but I love it when like two of the best players always duking it out, because I always want to know, is he going to win this time? Is that going to win this time? You know, I enjoy like that top level rivalry.
Tekken 7 had a lot of those. It's pretty cool to see, honestly. So many different people over like a course of time just had a period that they were just really good in or unstoppable, and then someone else just came and just took it from them and became the next one. I feel like that's a very cool thing in fighting games that you see sometimes.
Yeah, and you know, I love it when you say sometimes, because I don't like it when it's all the time, right? Like,
yeah.
And what I mean by all the time, meaning that it's forced to be like, all right, we're going to do an invitational. All right, this invitation happened, and then next month later, the same invitation of the same player, right? That's kind of what happened with Dragon Ball when it was Sonic Fox versus Go 1.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that rivalry so much, but you got to let it kind of like sizzle a little bit in the oven, right? Before we bring it back again, and wait for like a big event to like naturally let it happen rather than forcing it to happen.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I definitely thought that back then that they were playing a bit too much, like too fast.
Yeah, too fast. That's the word.
They didn't really let like anything develop. Like, you know, maybe play a few more times in tournament and see how the record is going and stuff like that. And then you do like another big first to 10 or something. But they played a few first to 10s like
month to month. Yeah, it was like fast. 30 days away. And I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? I was just hyped. Like, let me like sizzle down a little bit. Let's wait for combo break. Like, with that being said, what is your last game that is the most fun to watch for you? Honestly, I feel like some of the most games to watch that are hype are some of the old games.
Oh, you know yeah, it's Marvel. My last one would be Marvel 3 for sure.
Yeah,
I love watching Marvel 3. Like, every time a TNS is on Friday, I'll be just randomly find myself watching it, and I don't even know why. Half the time, you just enjoy watching the game, to be honest. It's just a fun game to watch. There's a lot of stuff that go on, so when you get a little bit of an understanding about it and you're watching it, like, it's pretty fun to watch. And then just the pure chaos and seeing if someone can survive when they first character die is just like, just watching all those, it just gives you goosebumps the whole time. I feel like when you're watching a Marvel 3 tournament match, you just don't know what's going to happen. X Factor 3 is very unpredictable, so any character at any moment, if you give them a chance, they can make a comeback. Like a person can make a comeback with any character, and I feel like we've seen it so many times over these years with the weirdest of characters making comebacks on people. So I feel like that's just like a very exciting, just so much exciting stuff in the game.
Yeah, I also think the cool part about it too is we got to a point where like, the meta has evolved into the point where like, who's actually the best team in the game. So I feel like you see a lot of variety of teams. You see the rise of Magneto.
Yeah.
I always thought Magneto was a cool character, so seeing people play Magneto is really, really great. We see like Mordok teams, like so many like unique teams now that are like obviously not the best, but the specialists are like out. And I feel like there's so many specialists in Marvel 3.
Yeah, there's a lot, honestly. Specialists, those people practice their teams and find new stuff still today from teams that was being played by other players, by older players back then when Marvel 3 was very popular. They're still finding new things with those teams, which is insane that a game can have so much creativity, that there's still new optimal things to find in the game that's practical. It's very insane. Like the game, it has to be about 10 years old now, something like that.
I think 2011 is when it came out.
Yeah, so like you think about that, and if still new things being found to this day is a crazy thing.
At February 15, 2011, literally 8 months later, they made Ultimate Marvel.
Oh wow, it wasn't even a year between Vanilla Marvel 3 and Ultimate. Wow.
Nah, it was like 8 months apart. They got that 120 real quick. With the greatest of ease last this month, bro. Quick. Real quick, bro. Another thing too, like, in my opinion, this is also another hot take, but visually that game is still one of the best looking games.
Yeah, I think the character sprites look extremely good in Marvel 3. They really look like the animated versions of those characters in their like cartoons that they have.
Yeah.
So I think that is like very good for like a game like that with characters like Marvel and Capcom characters that actually look that good. And it just makes the game, I feel like people being able to play it over a long time, like it's been played for so many years now, because the game looks visually pleasing, and it just doesn't really get tiring. Like it's very beautiful game to look at. It's a lot of colors, and the characters, they're just all really cool, and it's just mad iconic characters in the game. I feel like that is why another reason I feel like a game like that is hard for it to die. Just so many cool characters. You can even see to this day people play Marvel 2, right? So just tell
that's
those,
still another pretty game too. For sprites, like for sprites like that, that's a pretty game.
And that just shows you that like the Marvel games are just fun. They're timeless games that just has so much creativity in them that you can play them for so many years, find new things, and just never get bored. Even if you're playing the same team or characters for 20 plus years, you still can find something new and ways to improve, to get better in those games, which is just crazy to me, to be honest. I feel like after a while in Street Fighter, you kind of know everything you can do, right? But a Marvel game, you never really know what's the end of the game, honestly.
Yeah, what's the top of the ceiling list looking like?
Yeah.
And what's crazy? Like, one of the characters I always think that's really, like, dope to, like, develop is, bro, Dante got so many various infinites, and all his infinites look so cool.
Yeah.
Like, none of them look boring. You know what I mean? I'm like, this looks tight, Even like Dr. Doom, like people find little ways to like, to
make the TAC combo look a little cooler, a little more swaggy.
Like, with the little gun, the little laser gun.
Yeah, I love the laser. The laser gun is the best ender, just way they do the combo. I love when they use the laser.
Yeah, so things like that is like so great. So, shout outs to the Marvel crew. Obviously, shout outs to Tong holding down with TNS, even with that, because, he definitely carried Marvel during the pandemic. So, shout outs to him. Yeah, also, man, thank you so much for coming on here, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate this, man. Where can they find you, dude?
You find me at PunkDaGod, DA, not THE. On all social medias and YouTube, Twitch, whatever, you can find me there using that name.
Also, shout outs to people, shout outs, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to him, man. Punk has been doing amazing things, and I always enjoy when he talks about things that he likes and what he don't like, especially when he doesn't like them. When you talk about things when you don't like, bro, I feel like it's a little bit more passionate behind it. So, I'm there just to be like, yeah, I feel that, bro. I feel the passion. I feel the heat is burning.
Yeah, I feel you.
But look, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for your time, man. And people in the comment section below, you guys let us know how you guys feel about the conversations that we had. I know you guys got a lot of takes in there. You guys, hit the keyboards. Just try not to break the keyboards. And yeah, make sure you guys leave a like. Thank you guys so much for watching this channel, and I appreciate it.